to sleep in an extra hour. Approval of minutes resolution. There's no ordinances or nothing. Ready for this? Oh, look at James and Mr. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Oh my God. You're gonna be in so much trouble. Hey. Yes, sir.
Dan. Dan.
Oh, look at this. Wow. I got flowers. Aww. So I know, right? They're doing it in the beginning.
Don't hurt yourself.
This is a regular meeting of the Township Committee. Public notice of this meeting has been given as required by the Open Public Meetings Law. A resolution was adopted January 1st, 2023, designating this date, this hall, and 7:30 p.m. as the time for this regular meeting of the Township Committee of the Township of Union in the County of Union. A notice of each and every meeting of the Township Committee was posted in accordance with the aforesaid Open Public Meetings Law in one public place reserved for the posting of ordinances and official notices of the Township of Union, namely the bulletin board next to the clerk's office. In addition thereto, a copy of said resolution was forwarded to the local source and Star Ledger. A copy of said resolution is on file with the clerk of the Township.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This evening, the prayer will be led by Deputy Mayor Cavales and a flag salute led by Committeewoman Della Sport. Everyone, please stand.
God of power, might, wisdom, and justice. Through you, authority is rightly administered. Laws are enacted and judgment is decreed. Assist this Township Committee with your spirit of counsel and fortitude, and guide us to seek righteousness, justice, and mercy, and assist us in leading our township with honesty and integrity. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Florio?
Here.
Ms. Delasport?
present.
Mr. Bowser?
Here.
Ms. Cavades?
Here.
Mayor Figueredo?
Here. This evening, before we go into the body of the meeting, I think we have a special presentation, and I'd like to call up Mr. Stephen Lee to come up to the microphone at this time, and Ms. Nadege Ricketts.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
On behalf of the Democratic Party Club, I want to wish my beautiful sister, Committeewoman Michelle Delisfort, on her endeavors and as the newly elected commissioner. We thank you for all that you have done for our town. We wish you the best of luck. So on behalf of the Democratic Party, we would like to present you with these flowers.
Oh, thank you.
And I see we have another presentation. Senator Joseph Bryan, please come on up.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the governing body, thank you for a moment. Just want to thank Michelle Delisfort, who, just to be, as a reminder, was just recently elected as a commissioner to the Union County Commissioner Board, formerly freeholder, for those who are just kind of putting a connection together. And tonight is your last meeting here on the Township Committee. So we have an opportunity here. One of the privileges I have in life is serving as the municipal chairman of the Democratic Party here in town. where your service has been a trademark and a standard for many to uphold. I want to thank Michelle. I know all of you have a couple comments later on, but I want to thank Michelle particularly for her work as mayor. You know, Michelle was one of the few three-term mayors here in the Township of Union, and her leadership during COVID and our times in the pandemic, whether it was on this particular dais, talking to folks on a Facebook, internet type of situation where we could speak through social media, but also having the opportunity to be out where it was necessary. Michelle didn't hide away in a time when a lot of folks could have and showed true leadership. And that's the kind of thing that's going to be so important as you move down to the county seat in Elizabeth, among the 9. But it's great to have a representative from the Township of Union on that board. It's important that we do. We are the second largest community in the County of Union. So what you say here often is your belief in community, which is your foundation of your success, is a belief I know you'll expand in the county, and one that I know all of us continue to be proud of with your service each and every day. So I want to take a moment, just like Stephen and Nadej. I brought flowers too. We didn't really coordinate all that well. And my wife's away, so let me bring these to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle, I think all of us have something to add, so I think we'll do it now. Before we get to the body of the meeting. And, you know, you and I first ran together 2015. We were the M&M team, so here we are 8 years later.
Oh, wow.
And you're breaking up the M&M team, you know?
Sorry.
But you're moving on to represent our union constituents on the county level, and I think that's so important. As a senator said, you have served the people of the Township of Union with distinction as a member of this Township Committee for the 8 years, and throughout your time, you've been an integral part of the transformation of our township. You served with great leadership, especially during COVID-19, when we were all on Zoom, and all our meetings were Zoom and virtual. You assisted many local businesses during that time and left an indelible mark on Union's revitalized infrastructure and the business district. I've enjoyed working with, I'm getting emotional. I've enjoyed working with you these past few years, and know that your presence and passion will be missed here. So congratulations. I wish you the best of luck as a Union County Commissioner. We will miss you on this dais, but we look forward to your work as a commissioner and advocating for every single Union Township resident. Wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
I want to join my fellow colleagues when I say congratulations on your election to the Union County Board of Commissioners. You will surely be missed. You have made many significant contributions to our smart growth and development in our township. During the past year, it has been an honor to serve on this Township Committee with you as you represented our hometown with respect, dignity, and passion, and with always an open ear to listening to our residents. I want to personally thank you for your support during my first year on the committee. I wish you the best as you embark on your new journey as Union County Commissioner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor.
Where do I start? I can't believe you're leaving me. You will be really greatly missed, Michelle. Your legacy, dedication, and professionalism will continue to inspire as we move forward. But most importantly, as you know, your success is an inspiration to all the young ladies, especially Casey and Ava. I believe in you with all my heart, and I know everything you hope to achieve, you will succeed once you're Union County Commissioner. And I wish you nothing but the best, but I want you to always remember, success is the difference I know you will make in people's lives in our county. So congratulations, and I will truly miss you.
Thank you.
Joe?
Michelle, obviously everybody's going to congratulate you, and I'm congratulating you also. And I wish you the best of luck. You know that in your new position in the county. But sadly, you are going to be missed here. You really are. You've been a vital asset to this committee through the 7 years that you've served. Your personal, let me say, personal business experience, your business acumen, all your training has helped us through many projects that we had to do. Your vital input to us is so important. I think that one of the things from a personal standpoint is that some of us, especially me, sometimes are always grouchy, but you always have that perfect smile all the time. You lighten up the room, you lighten up the thing, and it's really, I said me, I didn't say you. I'm not an easy person to deal with, but you, like I said, I look at that smile on your face all the time, and like I said, I know the committee will, but from a personal standpoint, I will absolutely miss you and wish you the best luck. But please come back and visit us once in a while, will you please?
I will.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Michelle, I think those flowers are beautiful. You should lift them up a little bit, so in a
Yeah, right.
bit, when you give your committee reports, they'll show. And so let's get down to the business that we need to take care of at hand. I'd like a motion to approve the minutes, conference and regular session of November 13, 2023.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, let's move on with the resolutions.
I have your consideration on, sorry, I'm thinking I'm doing an ordinance. I have your consideration the following resolutions authorizing the acceptance of a performance bond in the amount of $566,876.74, a cash bond in the amount of $62,986.30, and establishing a special trust fund in the amount of $25,843.56 from Salazar and Associates, Union County Parkway.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Authorizing payment of all approved vouchers for solid waste collection, haulage, and disposal at the interim rate of $75.09 per ton for household waste and $107.12 per ton for bulky waste for the month of October.
Move to authorize payments.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Amending Resolution 2023-258, increasing the amount to Rachel's Michelle's Oil Company by an additional $10,000 for a total contract amount not to exceed $90,000 for the purchase of diesel fuel for township vehicles.
Move to authorize the contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Authorizing the release of a performance bond in the amount of $13,059 and cash bond in the amount of $1,451 to Children's Specialized Hospital for site improvements at 2840 Morris Avenue.
Move for approval?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Amending Resolution 2023-274, increasing the amount to Garubo and Capiz PC by an additional $16,000 for a total contract amount not to exceed $31,000 for legal representation in the matter of Signature Sports Bar, LLC.
Move for approval.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Authorizing an award of contract to Mahan Landscaping, Inc. for the 2023 tree planting at their sole quote not to exceed $29,500.
Move for approval.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Authorizing a memorandum of agreement with NJDOT and the Township for a CDL training program.
Move for approval?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ask you to approve the finances as listed on the agenda.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Following communications from Terry Melinda, tax collector, requesting the Township Committee authorize checks issued to the following representing the redemption of tax sale certificates as listed on the agenda.
Move for approval.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
From Michelle Dellisford, Committeewoman, informing the Township Committee of her resignation effective close of business November 21st, 2023.
Move to accept.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And monthly reports from the Fire Department and Municipal Court.
Move for approval?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That concludes my part of the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We go to our committee reports.
Thank you.
I'll say this for the last time. Committeewoman Dellisford, please.
Thank
Show
you.
those flowers.
Thank you, Mayor. From our Department of Public Works, road maintenance, the paving crews continue to work on repairing potholes and patching sections of roads throughout the township. Since our last meeting, the road division has performed 105 pothole repairs, multiple crack filling repairs, and 75 streets have been swept. The sewer division continues to maintain catch basins, pump stations, and outfalls daily. performing repairs when necessary. Since our last meeting, the Sewer Division has performed 69 catch basin cleanings, 100 enzyme applications, 2 emergency calls, and 2 catch basin repairs. The Shade Tree Division continues to maintain trees in parks, township properties, and in township right-of-ways. Since our last meeting, tree crews performed 10 removals, 18 trims, 7 tree vals, and 6 stump grindings. Leaf collection began on Thursday, October 6th, and will continue through Friday, December 29th. Leaves should be placed in brown biodegradable bags or garbage cans no larger than 32 gallons. No plastic bags will be accepted. All concerns or inquiries regarding all divisions of Public Works can be addressed by calling Public Works at 908-686-1922 or by using the Report a Concern feature on the Township website. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Committeewoman Dellisford.
And if I may, I just want to say it takes a village, and all of you have been phenomenal. I didn't think I'd get choked up, but you know, quite honestly, you've made it very easy. During my terms as mayor, as committee person, the administration, the department directors, you know, it's always been a pleasant experience. And to Joe's point, Florio, that's why, I know, right? That's why, you know, I always have a smile when I walk in here. It's a good place to work. Everybody is very forward-thinking. Everybody seems very passionate about their job. They understand their job. I've worked with so many other municipalities in my professional career, and I got to tell you, like, the Township of Union, like #1 all the way. So thank you so much again for everything that you guys have brought to my attention. Even just, you know, allowing me to bring my skill sets to the table has been great, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Committeeman Flory.
First, let me say, Mayor, that voting on Resolution 9 was probably the toughest yes vote I have made. I was almost going to abstain for that, for accepting her resignation. But again, go get her, Michelle, when you go to the county. First, let me put in a form of a motion for establishing our January 1st as our 2024 reorganization meeting at 12 noon. Can I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, Mayor, from our police department, during the past week, we only had 1 week here because our meeting is a week earlier. We had 2,218 calls for service, even in 1 week. Directed patrols of 1,476 and 60 arrests. In our speed initiative for 1 week, we had 63 stops. I'll just name several of the streets: Liberty, Burnett, Salem, and Self-Master. We continue to patrol the streets to try and keep speeders off the road, trying to discourage them from speeding in this community. We're working very hard to do that. As I said before, for truck stops, we're trying to keep the very large trucks off the streets where they don't belong. And we had 18 stops during the past week on Caldwell, Liberty, and Self-Master. One of the things I like to do, bring to every meeting, is one particular item of many that our police department get involved with. You don't realize how many times they're out there with the public. They're touching the public every single day. And they are great representatives because the public likes them and it makes them like us. So we're with them. On 11/7, a resident called reporting his unlocked vehicle was broken into and gave a suspect description. Officers quickly responded to the area, set up as a perimeter. They set up a perimeter up and were able to locate the suspect as he was attempting to flee the area. While conducting their investigation, officers found proceeds from the additional burglaries. He was also found to be in possession of a large quantity of drugs. He was placed under arrest and transported to headquarters and charged accordingly. Again, another fine job of many. I could read here all night, the fine jobs that our police do. That's my report.
Thank you. Committeeman Bowser, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Recreation Department report. The Union Recreation Department will be offering a special needs challenge basketball program again this winter. The program was created in conjunction with the volunteers who organized the town's challenge basketball program. This program will offer children and young adults of all abilities a non-competitive environment to experience playing basketball. Siblings, parents, and friends are encouraged to join and play alongside their loved ones. In addition to challenge basketball, Union Recreation will also be hosting basketball clinics and a recreation basketball league this winter. If If you have any questions about any of these activities, please call the Recreation Department at 908-686-4200. Senior report, health and wellness, health maintenance, Tuesday, November the 28th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Nurse prevention services, blood pressure and blood sugar checks will be provided. Activity reservations required, seating will be available. Arts craft workshop, Thursday, December the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Card making class with Yolanda, December the 5th, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Programs. Winter concert, Bernard's Ensemble will be performing on December the 27th, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Cookies and hot cocoa will be served. Diabetes prevention program starting on January the 8th, 11:15 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. 25 health sessions with lifestyle coach learning how to make actionable changes and healthier dietary choices. Memoir writing classes. Works 8 weeks starting on Tuesday, January the 9th, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Telling your story, don't know how to start. The memoir workshop is designed to help you capture and celebrate your memories. Classes will include writing prompts and supportive techniques to develop your story and share your memoirs. Upcoming Wind Creek Casino, Bethlehem, PA, 12/7, $35 per ticket. Hotel Bethlehem Brunch and Casino, Sunday, December the 3rd, $90 per ticket. Senior Center Holiday Party, December the 8th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Galloping Hill. Caterers, $60 per person. Paper Mill Playhouse Show after midnight, February the 22nd, $38 per ticket. For any additional information, call the Senior Center at 908-851-5290. That concludes my reports.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Cavadas.
Thank you, Mayor. From our Union Fire Department, they responded to 108 emergency calls for service this period with 53 medical calls. Some significant events are as follows. On November 13, apparatus was dispatched to Jeanette Avenue for a pedestrian struck by a vehicle. On arrival, the 13-year-old patient was conscious and alert, but still down on the roadway. The patient was struck by a vehicle and thrown approximately 15 feet and had left side pain. EMS 7 provided patient care with assistance of the Union Fire Department, and patients were transported to Morristown Hospital in stable condition. On November 19 at 1:30 a.m., apparatus responded to Route 78 West for a reported motor vehicle accident with a vehicle on fire. Upon arrival, Battalion 1 confirmed a two-car motor vehicle accident in the local lanes. There was heavy damage to both vehicles. 4 injuries were reported. An additional BLS was requested to the scene. The New Jersey State Police and NJDOT were requested immediately for a large debris field and operating in dangerous location with 2 lanes shut down. While operating, we discovered another vehicle involved in the motor vehicle accident in the fast lane on the express side of 78. Ladder 1 and EMU Car 1 investigated that found 1 patient. Rescue 3 responded to the 3rd ambulance for the patient. Engine 2 and Squad 2 assisted with debris cleanup and fluid contaminant in the local lanes. 5 patients were evaluated, 2 were RMAs on the scene, and 3 were transported to University Hospital in Newark. 2 tow trucks were removed, all 3 vehicles involved, and 2 lanes remain closed while the New Jersey State Police operated on scene. And also a safety message, as the holiday season is a time for family, friends, and feasts. This may mean you will be spending more time than usual in the kitchen. Cooking is the main cause of home fires at any time of the year, but especially common on Thanksgiving. The average number of home fires in residential buildings on this day often doubles the number of home fires throughout the rest of the year. So some of the safety tips are as follows. Stand by your pan. If you leave your kitchen, turn off the burner. Keep an eye on what you fry. Most cooking fires start when frying food. Roll up your sleeves. This reduces the chance that they will catch on fire. Supervise children and pets. Make sure they have away from the stove and turn pot handles towards the back of the stove. This is so no one can bump into them or pull them over. If there's an oven If there's a fire in your oven, always keep the door closed, turn off the oven, and keep the door closed as mentioned before, and dial 911. Moving things can burn away from the stove. This includes dish towels, bags, boxes, papers, and curtains. Only use a turkey fire outdoors. Make sure the fire is on a sturdy surface, away from things that can burn, and that your turkey is not wet or frozen. And lastly, check your smoke alarms. Make sure that they're in proper working order. And Mayor, before I conclude my report, I just want to wish all of our residents a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. I want to begin by just acknowledging some people. This past weekend, we honored a fallen hero from the Newark Fire Department who was a resident of the Township of Union, Captain Wayne the Bear Brooks, with an honorary street sign. And one thing his wife said to me is, Mayor, I was so nervous about today and it went seamless. And I didn't get a chance to thank some of the people that made it seamless. So I just want to acknowledge them publicly. I want to start with our Public Information Officer, Natalie De Silva, and her help and assistant, Alexandra Antonucci, and Edith Damas, and of course, the man behind the scenes that makes things happen seamless. I want to thank Mr. William Reyes, our Assistant Administrator. Thank you so much for what you did this weekend for that family. I know they will never forget that. Piggybacking on what our police commissioner said, and just driving here tonight, I'm stopped at a light on Johnson Place. Light is red, as red as could be, and in the left lane on my side view mirror, I see an SUV that's going to blow through that red light, and there's somebody going the other way that's going to make their left turn. And I was anticipating an accident. Fortunately, the one who blew the red light almost hit a light pole in front of me, but he avoided that. So again, I'm going to get on my soapbox like I did last week. Red is not the new yellow. Still, green means go, yellow means slow down, and red, stop. Not stop 300 feet ahead, not stop when you hit a vehicle, but stop before that light. So please, our police will be out there. They're vigilant. No more warnings, you will get a ticket. Especially with it getting dark earlier now. Tonight it was raining. Please follow the speed limits and traffic signals, and be vigilant and look out for pedestrians in the crosswalks. Thank you, everyone. Let's keep everyone safe as we go through this holiday season. I also want to congratulate all of our 2023 Union's Got Talent show contestants and the winners, which was first place, Mackenzie Buhati, and second place, Dejanay Williams, third place, Natalia Prasner, and the People's Choice Award, Sophia Ceballos. For more information on the Union's Got Talent, and more importantly, the Douglas Michael Kruger Scholarship Fund, you can visit unionsgottalent.org. And the local and holidays shopping right in the center is coming back. Our special improvement district, visit our Union Center on December 2nd, 9th, and 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for horse-drawn carriages, carolers, and so much more in the center. During the holidays, the CID is also hosting its annual Shop Small, Eat Local campaign. This will be from November 25th through the holiday season. Spend $100 at participating merchants and get a $20 or $30 gift card. Stay tuned for the participating merchant list. And Winter Wonderland. I was up in North Jersey today, and there were actually snowflakes coming down in North Jersey. So it's almost upon us. Our Winter Wonderland and Holiday Village has now been extended to 3 days. Join us on Friday, December 1st, Saturday, December 2nd, and Sunday, December 3rd at Beer Temple Park for a free, family-friendly holiday event featuring holiday craft and artisan vendors, food trucks, an ice skating and curling rink, live music and performances, Santa's workshops, and so much more. And every once in a while, Santa does stop by and give us a visit. So for more event details, you can find these online via uniontownship.com. And with that, I'll conclude my report and open it up to the public. Again, a reminder, there's a 5-minute rule. When you come up to the microphone, please state your name and your address. I open the microphone to the public.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Before I start, I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy a safe and healthy one, and don't eat too much. My name is Gail Petreka. I'm a resident of Union. I live on Evergreen Parkway. I'm here 18 years. I'm a homeowner. We have, I believe, 250 homes in our neighborhood? 244. So let's average out the taxes. That's 10,000. So $2.4 million a year comes into the town's coffers. And all we ask is you help us when we need it. Apparently, there's a dispensary being planned where the Batteries Plus building is now. And I can go on the record as saying I have no objection to a dispensary, recreational, medical, or otherwise. The problem is that they stand it's legal to put a dispensary in this building. Yes, it is. So we'll follow the law. Then the lawyers in the zoning committee say, well, you have a zoning law of 120 feet, I believe, from a dispensary to a residential area. And these people want to bend that and make it 20 feet. So we have a beautiful little park, Esther Egbert Park there. And there's a little gate. And if anybody here, and I've seen Manny, I've seen Joe at the park, so you understand the layout of the park. And there's a little gate there that we don't control. Anybody can drive into the dispensary, buy the products, and say, oh, I'm going to hang out a while. Great park. Swing, slide and pine basketball, trees, just a great, we love it. The committee maintains it, plants flowers. We love our neighborhood. As you know, we've been under siege and we need your help. 18 months now, getting in and out of the neighborhood is just daunting. The noise, the disruption of daily life, we're enduring it. You know, we don't have another choice. 2 weeks ago, the utility company came in, mowed down hundreds of shrubs and several 50-foot trees behind two neighbors' homes. Now when you drive in and out of the neighborhood where you see a tree line, you see nothing but utility poles. It's like the city's moving in on us and we have nowhere to go. We're getting squeezed out. I just don't understand why the zoning board would allow to bend this ordinance, because Dunkin' Donuts sold their building and a dispensary wanted to open there, and you allow them to bend the ordinance here. Well, they can take you to court now because you allowed them to do it. So why can't they put a dispensary 100 feet away from Town Hall? So we just need your help. There's got to be another building along 22 where they can have this business. As for me, you know, my only objection is it's too close, and when they're not driving on 22 into the building, they're going to be coming up through Evergreen Parkway to get to the park, and park in this little area where we can park some vehicles if we want to play in our park. And they're going to use that as a parking lot. How do we stop it? If you let it start, you're opening the door to a lot of problems. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments,
Okay.
Ms. Petreka. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Elizabeth. I'm a resident here in Union, Fairway Drive. I echo everything that Gail said. I have no objection to
Excuse me,
dispensaries.
Elizabeth, just your last name for the clerk, please.
Falcon. I have no objection to the dispensaries in town. I do have an objection to the dispensary that's being planned for Route 22, right next to the park. I've been in town. We purchased our home here 20 years ago. I raised my two kids. They're tweens now. I have the comfort level that I can tell my two tweens they can go to the park, to roller skate, play tennis, hang out with their friends, play basketball. With the dispensary there, I'm not going to have that level of comfort. If you are parents, you will understand that you don't want your child sitting next to someone who's going to be smoking cannabis or drinking alcohol or things like that at an early age. When they get older, things change. At the age, elementary, you don't want that. I don't want that. So I implore you to listen to our pleas. Do what you can for us to either make that go away so that the dispensary is placed somewhere else in the town, and also, if it is there, that there's no access to the park. It's my understanding, and I don't know if things have changed, that there's a limit of 3 dispensaries for the township. I'm not sure if that's changed. Or 2, I think it was 2. So this would be number 3, so I'm not sure where the rules were changed since I last saw that limitation. It was 2 retailers. So we have one in Union Center, we already have one on 22, 0.8 miles from this new one that's planned. Why do we need 2 so close to each other? That's walking distance.
There is no dispensary in Union Center.
So-
That is not a licensed dispensary.
It's not licensed?
That is not.
It's a
And
smoke
so-
shop. I don't know what they're doing.
That is not a licensed
Not a
dispensary.
It's a
So I guess because I'm not a
CBD.
smoker, I would not know the difference. But I see Cannaboy, and to me, that seems like a place where you go get or smoke or, you know. So that's 3 different. Oh, okay. Well, back to the argument. The one next to the park, if you can do whatever you can in your power, you do great work. We appreciate what you do for the town, and I hope that you can take into account our concerns.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up.
Mayor, if I could, I
Sure.
do want to address 2 issues that I think may be in common for the residents. First and foremost, state law prohibits. Oh, hi, I'm Don Travisano, I'm the Township Administrator. Normally, they hear me before they see me. State law prohibits the use of cannabis, smoking or otherwise, in park, okay? So, if at any time you think that the township would tolerate that type of behavior, not happening, but obviously, the secondary piece is the gate that exists between the park and 22. As I understand it, it's a utility right-of-way, and we'd be happy to petition the utility to lock that gate, close it off, seal it. I think those 2 items in particular, I think would be helpful in addressing your concerns.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
Can I respond? Please, go ahead. Please, I'm sorry. Sir, thank you for your comments. Elizabeth Falcon, back on record. I live on the dead end in that part of town that leads to a path behind Retro Gym. So that's an open, like, green space in there. And we do get the occasional teenagers and older folks that go in to smoke. We've turned a blind eye through the years because we've had no choice. One time I had 4 teenagers sit on my lawn, and they were sitting on my lawn, rolling and smoking, and I called Union PD, they came out, and they took care of it. They do a good job. However, we don't want to be put in a position to have to do that now for the park. So we send our kids up, we have to worry about who's going to be there. And so if the residents see something going on that shouldn't, we're going to be calling Union PD all the time. It's not a position we want to be in. So please, thank you.
Hilda Artisona, 680 Rosner Drive. We've owned the house at the corner. Our backyard is to the park backyard. We've been there 31 years. And to your comment about it's not legal, there's a lot of things that are not legal but are done. And I would say in the summertime especially, we see teenagers smoking all the time. Do we call the cops all the time? No, because nobody comes. Sometimes they come and sometimes they don't. I would say that last year it was better than it had been before. But my concern, again, I agree, I don't have a problem with dispensaries, that's wonderful. But I do have a problem with a dispensary where the children in the park on the swings or the seesaw or playing tennis can see the door to the dispensary. And listen, let's be real. People are going to go in there and they see a park, and if they smoke in the park now, imagine how many more people will smoke in the park. So that's my concern, that we all worry about schools and not having any dispensaries near schools. Well, what's the difference in a park that is well attended by children, especially in the summer? And the Easeway, we see it, I'm in the corner house, so I see people coming, parking, going through the little, opening, and unless you put some kind of concrete divider, it is very easy to just go from the tennis courts right across into the parking lot. I, for one, when the battery store was there, walked to the battery store. There's nothing that stops one. So our concern, I think I speak for almost everyone, our concern is that it's right at the park, at the corner of the park. And the other concern we have is, why would you change a variance to suit a dispensary? It's one thing if it was a health place or something positive, but the committee that we were here the other day at a meeting, which I found a little insulting because the decision had already been made. There were gentlemen in the back, either lawyers or administrators, I'm not sure, kind of dismissing what we were saying. Oh, they're not going to come around and they're not going to park and it's difficult to find the entrance. No, it's not, because people do it every single day. There's people that go to work, maybe on 22, and they come through our neighborhood. And I just think that we are opening up a real dangerous situation for children, little kids that can be abducted. I mean, you don't know what kind of people are going to be at the dispensary. And the fact that you say they can't smoke outside, well, let's see how many people don't smoke outside. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll say happy Thanksgiving to you.
Same
My
to
name
you,
is
sir.
Herbert James, 613 Jeffrey Lane. I live as to where I can see into the back of where this dispensary will be. My complaint up front is this: why have ordinances if businesses can come and ignore them and put things there when we bought homes there? I think all of us pay a pretty hefty of $10,000 in taxes. So to have a dispensary jammed down our throat. We were here last week at the board planning meeting, and they pretty much jammed it down our throat, don't want to hear nothing we say. But as a resident, and I say to you, as the leaders of business in this community, there should be other places that this establishment can be put up as to where it's not right in our backyard. The ordinances states one thing, they're saying it doesn't matter. And I think that's insulting to us. Not only that, my big concern is we were ignored as citizens. We find out about it after they have everything planned and ready to be established. So that's my concern about this, and I don't think we should have it in our backyard. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening, committee. I am Nadej Ricketts, 692 Rosner Drive. Just want to give you a little background of our beautiful neighborhood. As you can see, all of our residents out here, they came out tonight, this evening in the rain, because we truly do care about our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is tight-knit, we're close, we care about safety. Most importantly, we care about our children. I too have a daughter who has roamed around. I see a lot of other families with their kids that kind of let them play. Our neighborhood is very family-friendly, and as you can see, one of the biggest concerns here is, of course, safety. Excuse me. One of our biggest concerns is safety, and our residents truly do care about where we live. We have, not only do we have a personal concern, right? That's the biggest thing, is our personal concern. Look how close we are. This is usually what happens in our neighborhood. So I just want to give you a background of our neighborhood, our tight-knit neighborhood, our little secluded space where you really have to go in and come out. So we're concerned about safety, the children's safety, our homes. There have been a lot of break-ins. We don't want to add even more traffic to our neighborhood, so we just ask that the committee kind of listen to what we all say and really take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
My name is Eileen Casanelli. I'm at 556 Fairway Drive, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Same to you. Thank you.
And I was very upset with the lawyer last week. You had a committee. The committee should be running the meeting. Clearly, the lawyer ran the meeting, okay? And he's telling at the very end, after the pot lawyer turned around and made her speech, he turned around and reminded the committee how to vote. I think that's very unethical. Very unethical. That upset me so much. The second thing is you don't have the clearance from the state. You got 3 lanes going into 2 lanes, and it's coming right onto Fairway Drive afterwards. That guardrail is hit at least once a month. You declared it unsafe to cross, and yet you're promoting more people to come in with this new pot thing. And then it's federally illegal to sell next to a park. I know you say New Jersey has laws, but there are laws on the dockets that says it's federally. And we can go to the DEA, and the DEA says we could take steps if it's put in, and then the FBI will come in and close them down. So why are you even trying to do this to us? I don't understand it. I don't have children, but I'm at that park every day. I clean it up. I see how many people play there. I see how many people go in there. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to speak? Ms. Petrega, let me just have anyone who hasn't spoken yet, please. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Leah Almeida, 693 Evergreen Parkway. As you can see, I'm one of the younger residents in our area. I have 3 small children, 7 and under, and this is a big concern to me. I go to the park there with my kids all the time. There isn't even a dispensary there already, and there's a lot of shady people that do have access to our neighborhood, unfortunately. We don't want to be stereotypical, but we know what kind of crowds a dispensary can bring. And even if you put a gate there that's going to be locked, the reality is they are going to see the park, they're going to come around into our neighborhood, they're going to park there, and they're going to access it. And it doesn't matter if it's illegal to smoke in the park, like they were saying, they're going to come. And as my children get older, I'm going to have to worry about, can I send them to the park by themselves, which I should be able to in our neighborhood, you know, without a problem, or even if I'm there with them, I'm always going to have to be watching our back. And I think for all of you that have children, I know Mr. Mayor Figueredo, you have 4 of your own, your wife's an educator, I'm sure you wouldn't want it in your backyard either. Not to mention the houses that literally their backyard is the dispensary. So as a concerned resident and mother of 3 small children, I really ask that you guys put this to bed and not allow that dispensary to open. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Salome Carrillo. I also live on Evergreen Parkway. Another concern that we have is if, there could be, you are considering like a change of zoning for this business. We are afraid that you can consider in the future another change and, approve to open Evergreen to Michigan. So this could be like the beginning of, something that we really want to avoid. I think that as parents, our first priority is our kids, But as well, on top of that, I personally pay like almost $14,000 in taxes. So, that is something that it will affect us. Also, even considering the value of our homes. So that is another concern that we have. So I just wanted to share that with you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Hello, Pamela Bryant, 542 Fairway Drive. I'm just going to piggyback off of what she said. Our neighborhood is beautiful, and it is family-oriented. I don't understand why we have rules, regulations, and things that we're not supposed to do within the township, and then the board passes it. Again, and I'm in referencing to the amount of feet. This place is right behind properties. It's not that much feet. It's just a few feet away from the residents' homes. It's a few feet away from a park. And then the board just, yes, they just passed everything that these people wanted. I just think it's wrong. All money is not good money. And I know it would bring the township a lot of money, but it's not good money. When we have good neighborhoods, let's keep it that way. We need to be able to depend on you all to do the right thing. And I'm talking about in reference to the law, the zoning boards. What's the sense of saying certain things can't be certain distances away when it's passed? It just does not make sense to me. Let us be able to depend on you all to do what's right.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Mike Giamo, 680 Fairway Drive, Giaimo, President of the Civic Association. Basically, proud of my members over here. They cover just about everything. But I have to ask you a question, guys. Is this the first time you're hearing about this?
We didn't know about the planning, the Board of Adjustment. That wasn't.
The meeting last Wednesday, you didn't know about that?
That's an autonomous organization.
All right, so now, after they voted, and they voted for it, where does it go from there?
I'd ask our attorney that.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, after it's voted upon, the next meeting, I'm assuming the next meeting, a resolution then is adopted with regard to the approval of the application. That resolution will have certain conditions of approval, and then at that point in time, it's up to the applicant to comply with whatever conditions of approval are upon them, and obviously pulling building permits and whatever else needs to happen.
All right, because according to that meeting on Wednesday, there's only one issue, and that's the distance. The code we have here, it's Township Code 170-1618. Dispensary shall not be located within 1,500 feet of a residential zone, whereas a property. You're going to 21 feet. So even if you add my backyard to this, you're 50 feet from my back door, or the back door is on Jeffrey Lane. Would you guys buy a house on that block now? If they okay this? Would you want your kids playing in the backyard? Joe? Manny? It's a simple question, yes or no. Well, the property values are going to drop. People are going to move. What is going to happen? What's going to happen to down the road where Evergreen's got the end there, where I think Ball Avenue comes into it, or I don't know exactly where it is. What's it going to take to just sign off on a piece of paper and make Evergreen Parkway a parkway from Chestnut Street to Route 22? I don't understand why we have codes, and as a contractor, codes help me. Codes protect me, they protect the homeowner, they protect the resident who buys the home later on, they protect everybody. But with a little swipe of a pen, you can change anything you want from 1,500 feet to 21 feet for a pot store. I don't know, guys. I'm having a hard time accepting this. And I'll tell you right now, it's not going to go away. If we have to hire a lawyer, we're going to hire a lawyer. But please, I wish somebody would do the right thing, please.
Thank you for your comments. Gail, please. That's okay, Gail.
There are a lot of what-ifs, what could happen, there's a lot of fears, a lot of misinformation. It's a very passionate subject if you're living in the neighborhood. The NIMBY mentality, not in my backyard, does not apply here. It's really plain and simple. Somebody at one point in time voted it into an ordinance, into law, that was required to be followed. We buy our homes, we follow the law. If we are told we have to cut our back hedges, we cut them or we get a ticket. Can't park your cars in the wrong place. So now there's an ordinance, law. You can't park this close. You can't have a building this close and run a business like a dispensary. Take your kids to that park, go sit in a staggered park, and just look at that parking lot and imagine all day long the traffic. I don't judge. All different levels of income, all different types of people shop and go there. It's legal, not an argument. But do you want your kids to sit in and play in that park and worry about stranger danger? Whoever's there can come right in and walk in that park. And we have no power. You know, we see a car parked along the golf course. They're sitting there smoking pot. By the time you call the police, the car's gone. You know, you don't want to be petty. You know, of course, they're driving while they're stoned, but, you know, we're not the police department. So to say, you know, well, if you see somebody smoking pot, call us. Why even go there? You have an out. By the law, they can't run a dispensary there. End of story. There's your out. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening. My name is Sylvia Velasquez, 987 Redwood Place. I just want to piggyback real quick with the ordinance and the regulations. So if I want to install
Right to the microphone.
if I want to install a pool, I have to abide by certain feet from the house and certain fencing around the pool. Therefore, I'm as a resident and as a homeowner, I have to abide by that rule. Otherwise, the town will not approve me putting a pool into my house in the backyard. So I don't understand either how we can ban the rules already established for this particular establishment. You know, who's benefiting from this? Who's getting, you know, some finances in the back end at the end of the day that approve this in the long run? Because I have to follow the rules. I have to follow what my town is telling me to do as far as installing my pool. So I just don't see, you know, and understand why it's such a difficult thing to say, you know what, it's the law. The law is the law, and there's nothing you can change about it unless it's benefiting somehow someone else. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Mayor, if I may?
Sure.
Briefly. First, I just want to say I am not unsympathetic to some of the points you have raised this evening with regard to the concerns you have over the approval of the retail dispensary. As the last woman just indicated about her pool, yes, the township does have ordinances in place, does have distance requirements. You can't have a deck within so many feet on the side yard, rear yard, but anybody, any property owner is able to file an application, in this particular instance, with the zoning board. And although I was not present at the zoning board, it would be inappropriate for me to be there as the municipal attorney, but the applicant is charged with putting on the proofs to justify why the variance from the distance requirement should be granted. So yes, there are rules in place here in the Township of Union. There are regulations that govern property and what you can and cannot do on it as it concerns setbacks, distances, etc. But anybody can file an application for an approval, and that's something that could be done by anybody. I just wanted that to be on the record. I'm not speaking to the approval. I wasn't at the meeting. I'm not familiar with the application as far as what the proofs were, what the testimony was. I'm just saying that if someone wants to build a pool and it violates a setback, you can then apply for a variance to get relief from that setback requirement. And that was just my point. Thank you.
Hello again, Pamela Bryant, 542 Fairway Drive. Just to let you know, just in case you don't know, there was no reason on why they wanted to avoid the distance between. There was no justification at all. Again, I don't understand how the town can let these people come in. And again, it's only 21 feet away. It's a residential area. Not only is it a residential area and you're not abiding by those zones, it's a playground and you're not abiding by that. We understand that, you know, you can have cannabis stores in Union. We understand that. We're not fighting against that. We're just arguing the fact that they're not following the zoning laws. And we don't understand why they're being bent for this company. That's one thing we just do not understand. It's a beautiful neighborhood. Union is a beautiful place to live. I love being in Union. I want to be able to, depend on the people who are in charge of making these decisions. And the other day, we felt like we got slapped in the face. And it's just not right. We just do the right thing. We can make decisions, and if you know they're not right, do right by them. Why break rules, regulations, zoning laws for no reason at all? He couldn't give a reason. And if you don't know, ask. I'm sure it was recorded. And it's not personal. It's just they're breaking the zoning laws and we don't understand why it's allowed for no reason at all. It's a park, residential place. Can't over-exaggerate it. What else is there to say? There's nothing else to say.
Mayor, if I could I just wanted to reemphasize a couple key points that I think may be helpful to the residents. Obviously, this is a difficult parcel because it is a commercial district on Route 22 that abuts right to the residential area. Inherent in not only the state statute that governs the regulation of cannabis, which again is a legal use permitted by the state legislature. Inherent in not only the state statute but also the local ordinance are requirements for buffer, requirements for security, requirements for noise, smell, all of those things. Meaning, if they don't resolve those thresholds first, they don't even get there. So, while I am absolutely sympathetic to the concerns about park and children, the other key point that I have to tell you is part of why I can speak authoritatively on this is that we have had a cannabis dispensary operating for the better part of 3 or 4 years here in Union, the last year of which has been both regular recreational use as well as medicinal. And I can tell you that the calls for service, zero calls for service at that location. And the concern was about the perception of whatever goes on there or near there, and I'm telling you there were 0 calls for service.
This is Hilda Artisona, 680 Rosner Drive. You talk about security, they talked about security, and all they could say, and look, you could look at the minutes, at the notes, we were all paying attention, all they could say was that the security is inside the dispensary. They cannot do anything outside. They can't they can't secure that someone comes out of the dispensary and walks a few feet over to a park. They can't control that, and they said that they couldn't control that. So security is a requirement for them inside, not for us, not for the children. So
I will reiterate, and I, on behalf of the residents, I'm happy to either reach out to the applicant to see if they would construct a fence.
The fence.
If that is a big concern. And the secondary piece is if the utility right of way, I'm also happy to request a lock on that gate so that it's not used as an ingress egress.
Anyone who is familiar with that area knows that a fence, a fence can be, this is the fence and here's the dispensary. There's a fence there now, okay? And that fence is always broken. I don't know if it's animals or people or whatever, but you cannot close the easeway, I don't know, the catwalk that's right after the fence and between the park. You can't do anything about that. That has to be open because I think it belongs to the gas company or somebody. So unless they build a 9-foot wall, concrete,
Going to focus.
Yeah, but still, my point is that the children that are playing in the park right here can visually see the dispensary. I have no problem with a dispensary. What I have a problem with is the ordinance that is ignored, and we're forced to accept that the committee said that they would approve it with one exception, and I don't know, right now I'm so angry that I don't remember what the exception was. But we weren't heard. It was like, someone said it before, it was like a slap in the face. First of all, we got notified, and not all the houses in that area got notified. Only the houses that were 200 feet from the, because we went around to see who got the letter and who didn't get the letter. And again, that was totally, in my opinion, not right for them to do that. But security is an issue. The issue with the lighting, they said they were going to put lights up. So I can imagine the people whose backyard are back to the dispensary now have to deal with a light 7 days a week until from 9 o'clock in the morning, when it gets dark, until 9 o'clock at night. That is not right for somebody who's paying taxes and has to worry about the smell, the people. And once again, all of you who are familiar with the park know exactly what I'm talking about, that park is way too close. That dispensary is way too close to that park to be safe. I wouldn't send my daughter there. I wouldn't send my son there by themselves, not with all the people that are currently coming into the park to smoke. And that happens not every day, but a lot, especially the teenagers.
My name is Darwin Yamuka, 612 Jeffrey Lane. I'm basically the owner of a home which is behind the building. We're not asking tonight to build a wall or any other fence. What we're asking, if you probably heard from most like everybody, is just if there's some law, make it happen. If they said it's something amount of feet there's supposed to be, and it's not doing it, why we even have this meeting? It shouldn't be able to. We're not asking for you guys to build another fence. I have a fence in my house, right in the backyard, and I can see the gas station and where the battery store was. So that's not what we're asking here. We're asking is you as the major or people that are in law, knowing all these laws, and we are finding you guys with those ideas. The gentleman over there telling us, we can tell them to build another fence. We're not asking for another fence. We're asking is for you guys to obey the law like we always do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one last comment.
Just state your name
Yeah,
again.
Sylvia Velasquez, 987 Redwood Place.
Thank you.
One of the things that they mentioned during the meeting at the Board of Adjustment on Wednesday, was that the one constraint that they're not able to keep, or they're having difficulty with, is the distance of 1,500 feet from a residential place. And that is the only thing that's keeping or holding them up right now, which they're trying to negotiate and bring those, that zoning down. So, everything else they have a plan for, and they had an answer for it, but that's the one thing that they're gonna look to change and decrease in order to get the establishment in place there.
Thank you.
When is the date of the meeting?
The resolution meeting.
Oh, the resolution meeting. Before we get there, I'm just frankly baffled. You got a law in place? Are they twisting your arm? Are there no other buildings in all of Union where they could go? We don't object to the business. We object to, they think they just come into town and bulldoze their way over. You've got to protect our neighborhood. Our neighborhood benefits the rest of Union. We take care of our neighborhood. We don't ask for a lot. Clean our streets, empty our garbage. We take care of ourselves and our properties. We benefit the rest of you. And we put up with a lot of stuff going on for 18 months. Why just not say no? Go somewhere else. How deep into it are you that you cannot tell these people, hey, you knew the rules when you came here. You knew there were homes back there, just like we know 22 is over there when we bought the homes. Same thing. I'm just baffled why you can't just say no. Find another building or, that you can comply with. Don't bow down to them because it's a sticky wicket. You're opening a Pandora's box. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may, I've just been advised that the resolution will be considered for adoption on November 29th. You're welcome.
I'm Anna Santi. I live on Evergreen Parkway. I was actually just going to ask when that resolution was going to happen so we do not become blindsided. You can't hear me? Usually everybody can hear me. I have a big mouth. So not to be blindsided, we're taxpayers. We have a great community. You've heard it all out. I want to know how we can get involved before this becomes a fait complete. And I think we have that right. Anything else anybody wants to ask? And who can we hear from so we know how we can get involved before it is a completed and no option for us?
I'm not sure if I understand your question.
I want to know who will inform us prior to this going through, how we can get involved.
Well, the one thing I would suggest, you could certainly consult with a lawyer to the extent that the application has been approved and on November 29th it's up for a vote. Obviously, at that moment in time, you would have an opportunity to be heard at the meeting with regard to the resolution that would be up for an approval. But I would suggest if you want, I mean, someone said this evening that the variance was granted without any proofs, but the way it generally works with applicant work is the applicant has to put on proofs to support the grant of a variance, okay? So if you believe that no proofs were put before the board to grant that variance, I would suggest consulting with a lawyer perhaps and to explore that. Just as a process and a procedure, once, if the resolution is approved, and you have 45 days from the date that that resolution is approved and or published, but essentially 45 days to file a prerogative writ, which is essentially a complaint to challenge the approval of the board.
So we have to hire a lawyer.
So the one thing I will say, Ms. Petrarca, is, first of all, this is the Township Committee, as you know. They did adopt an ordinance that permitted cannabis here in the Township of Union. It allowed for 4 licenses on the Route 22 corridor. They did have impose a distance requirement of 1,500 feet. That was referenced tonight. But again, that's what the standard that was set by this governing body, those standards, just like there's standards for setbacks, there's setbacks for, standards, for square footages on houses. There's all sorts of bulk requirements that govern properties here in the Township of Union. This governing body cannot stop or prevent a property owner or a tenant, I'm not sure if they own the property, but a property owner or a tenant from filing an application before the zoning board or the planning board. No. We did not approve them. They still needed to go before the zoning board to get relief from this 1,500 feet requirement. Okay? So they still needed to do that. So just like any other applicant, you go before the zoning board or the planning board to seek a variance, to get an approval. And that's what happened here. Okay, so as far as getting a lawyer, you don't have to. You could try and file a prerogative writ on your own, or hire a lawyer to do so. But in any event, the time to do so would be 45 days from November 29th.
My name is Eileen Castanelli. I'm 556 Fairway Drive. I just want to state one more thing. When they had the meeting on Wednesday, they never showed the park. And federal law, I want to repeat again, federal law does not recognize marijuana. Okay, I already called the DEA, all right? So if it goes in, I'm calling them all the time until the FBI comes in and shuts them down. So why would you even consider it? It doesn't make sense. And I'll make sure every one of these people here does the same thing. I mean, I don't understand why you would want to put the business in trouble like that. I don't understand it.
Why would you agree with an out-of-town business against all these residents? We're asking for your help.
Anyone else wishing to comment at this point?
They never showed the park on those plans.
Mike Giamo again, 680 Fairway Drive. Can you tell me, anyone up there, can you tell me if this is a done deal yet? Because I got a real bad taste in my mouth. Don? Is this a done deal? I gotta ask you something. This guy spent thousands of dollars on an architect, lawyers, surveys, permits. I think it's a done deal already. I really do.
That is separate from the governing body. They act in a quasi-judicial manner. An applicant came before it seeking a variance from land use regulations. They got the variance. You have your remedies and your rights. As a group, as an individual taxpayer, you can appeal the decision. The decision is...
Who's on this resolution board? Is this the same board as the Board of Adjustments? They're the same people? They're different?
Board of Adjustment.
Board of Adjustments. So that's what I mean. It's over. Thank you. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you, you too. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.